Hi, everyone. Marianne Croce here of Small Biz Vantage and the creator of 3 Day Weekends Coaching. I am glad to be here each and every week. I do these lives for a couple of reasons. One of them is for you to be able to shift your perspective or your vantage, if you will, the way you think about your business, turn it into your competitive edge. And the second reason is for you to be able to take one action item away each week and implement it in your business. If you find this valuable, please share it with another business owner that you know. I do these each and every week, and I primarily work with business owners who are in the skilled trades and the automotive industry. These are business owners that have teams, but they really feel consumed by their business. And a 3 day weekend coaching is a framework that really helps them find the freedom that they're looking for. So, this week's topic is my number one productivity tip. Business owners are all about productivity. And so many of us today are really busy. Ask anybody. But at the end of the day, were you productive? It's really easy to start lots of things. But at the end of the day, what gets done? So it was funny because I was chatting with someone over coffee last week and I was asked for my best productivity tip. And the answer was really easy because once I learned this, it really changed my business and it made a huge impact on the way that I show up and operate every day. It helped me personally and professionally. I stopped being busy and I became productive. So, my number one tip for productivity is to stop context switching. So I want to break this down for you. Have you ever experienced this? You started working on something and then you were pulled away or interrupted, maybe even multiple times. When you went back to what you were doing, did you ever ask yourself, wait a minute, where was I? Where did I leave off? That is context switching. Context switching is changing from one task or activity to another. It often involves a change in the focus of attention, location, or your mental state. So, context switching can be either intentional or unintentional. It's easier to see when you're switching between activities that are unrelated or require different skill sets or different tools. So I want to give you some examples of this so you could see how this shows up in your work, in your personal life, during your day. So one good example is when we pull a technician off of one job, one vehicle to work on another due to a part delay or waiting for customer authorization. When they go back to that job, they're experiencing context switching and they have to figure out where they were, where they left off. Another one would be reviewing financial reports and getting interrupted by either unrelated calls or questions that really someone else could have taken care of. So now you have to go back to those financials and figure out where you were, kind of regroup. Another example is multitasking, checking email while on a call or texting while in a meeting. You are constantly switching between different contexts. And lastly, shifting attention between personal and professional. So let's say you get a call from home and you're at work, but then you have to switch back to what you were working on, what you were doing there at work. That is context switching. So we've all experienced this, but what I want you to do is think of all the roles in your business where context switching can really squash productivity. Being continually pulled away or interrupted kills productivity. It's the enemy of productivity. We think we're doing more, but we're actually getting less done. So when we have all these things on our plate, we actually think that we're doing more things, but actually, in reality, we're not. Some studies have suggested that context switching can lead to a loss of up to 40% of productivity, as it takes time to switch between tasks and then regain focus and momentum on each new task. So think about it. When I talk to business owners, I talk about an 8-hour day, but most business owners laugh when I say that. They're like, the reality is more like 10 hours a day at least. So if you're losing 40% a day and you're working 10 hours a day, you're losing 4 hours a day to context switching. If you're working 5 hours a day, you're losing 2 hours a day to context switching. So think about all of the time that you're losing that could be better spent. It makes a huge difference. So this used to happen to me when I was balancing statements at work, the financial statements, checking account, credit card statements, all of those. When I was balancing them, I would get interrupted multiple times, and it took forever to finish. It was frustrating at the end of the day. I was busy. I was doing something all day long, but at the end of the day, I didn't feel productive. So it's really easy to see how context switching can affect all areas of your business. Now, we know that production slows down when you take people off a job and you put them on another job and you keep pulling away before they're actually finished, before the job's completed. Another way it happens is customer service. People who are answering phones really shouldn't be in the middle of something else. They should be able to put that aside and focus on that call. Another one would be making a sales call while someone is waiting for you. That is the worst. It's difficult to give a customer your full attention, to answer them any questions they may have or clarify something for them. You really need to be present 100% of the time. As an owner, putting out fires all day, it could be draining. It's difficult to get things done it's difficult to get things done and then have energy when you get home, because you want to be fueled when you go home to relax, to unwind, or to spend time with your family. And it can really be challenging because your day can be so draining. So here are some tips to stop context switching. Plan your day. Either plan it the night before, or if you're an early riser, plan it early in the morning. But be ready for your day. It really helps. Another tip is grouping your activities or batching your activities. If you have to make lots of calls one day, then set up a time and make them one after another and get those calls all out. You're on a roll now, and block out time for financial work. Really important. Get it done. Get it off your plate. This way you keep on top of your financials and your numbers. A next tip is minimize distractions. Now, many owners say to me that they like to have an open door policy, which is fine. I think that's great. I believe that. I believe in it. But I want to give you an example, not between 9 and 11. Own the owner role with boundaries. Create those boundaries. Your team will get used to it. They'll respect it. And it shows that you have a direction for your business. The last one, take breaks. Your team does. Why not you? It gives your brain a chance to rest and recharge. Take a walk, exercise, or plan a vacation. Take that vacation. This improves focus when you return. It's amazing how much clarity you'll actually have when you come back to work and go back to whatever project or work you were doing. By being mindful of context switching and taking steps to minimize its negative effects, you can improve your productivity and achieve better results in your work and your personal life. Imagine the feeling of being productive at the end of the day. Can you imagine putting your head on the pillow at the end of the night and saying, "This was an amazingly productive day," while everyone else is only feeling busy? Feel free to share the contexting tips with another business owner. And I'm curious, what tip will you try for context switching? Is it going to be plan your day, grouping your activities or batching your activities, minimize your distractions, or taking breaks? I'm curious to know. Either put it in the chat now or on the replay, put it in the comments. So I really want to thank you for being here. That's it for this week's Business Leadership in 15 minutes. I look forward to next week and have an enjoyable week.